All right. Good evening. How's everybody doing? It has been a long time since I've posted. Um, Not too long, not like weird long. I've not been in some kind of hibernation. I don't know. I was thinking about something a lot lately, and I I wanted to like just share a bit with whoever's following me on here, friends, family, fans, people just checking out of what this is all about. People who like me, people who don't like me, or yeah, I'm not really sure who all watches, but I was just thinking about this lately. I spent a lot of time and effort trying to uh, work on the perception of DIY or being an artist, or the concept of like I don't really like fake it till you make it, but like just with social media um, and music, and like there's no real barrier to entry. Like I can throw something on YouTube or on YouTube, yeah, but like Spotify, like just I could record this conversation with the camera and put it up on Spotify, and I could probably get it on live within a couple of days. So there's like I don't actually know the stats, but there's like 50,000 songs released every single day, right? So how do you differentiate yourself? Um, Even if you've got a great sound, a great story, a great lyrics, great production, um, how do you stand out? And I've always tried to overcompensate by making songs sound bigger, sound like there were 300 musicians in the studio at the same time playing. Because I thought that like if someone heard it, they would be like, "Wow, oh wow, that's a pretty big production." Like, oh, they must be legit, right? So it's like you're looking for people to get a sense for you, and um, and maybe say, "Oh, let me check this out," because they seem like they're worth my time, right? If you see a crappy artwork or like really low budget artwork. I guess back in the day when you have CDs, like if you saw a really low budget CD or a CDR, you're like, oh well, I mean, how good can it be? They haven't even like made enough money to do a proper pressing or something like that. Or yeah, and I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. That this whole kind of perception, and I wonder how much I still do that, right? Um, I mean, like the truth is that like I don't know what like the people that are strangers who are watching this that I've never met before and they don't know me like personally. Um, like I, do am I coming across like I'm some like really famous musician that makes tons of money just on my music alone? Part of me says, well, if that makes people want to follow me, then maybe could like fulfill that prophecy. Um, I don't even know if that makes sense, but basically, like, oh, okay, well, if enough people think that way, then they'll start following me and start watching, and then I will be able to start monetizing. But, I mean, the harsh reality is that I'm 42 years old and I have been off and on working on music since I was, I don't know, I mean, my first real recording was in 2001. So, but I was learning how to play before then. So I'd probably say since I 18, 19 years old, I had plans. Before then I loved music, but that's when I started writing. That's when I started wanting to be in a band. That's when I started learning like guitar, like pretty um, was pretty focused with that. And I remember going from like, the young kid who was very driven and very focused and like this, I don't want to call myself a young phenom, but like I was the young kid, and then, and then all of a sudden you just get older and you have opportunities, and I've done really cool stuff. But even back, like I remember I was called the hype train once. I was always trying to open for Third Eye Blind, and we did get to once. But Eric Gotlin from EGM, he was like, "Oh, here the hype train pulls in," because I'd send these emails that were all of the great things that were in the works, and it was always the big things coming. Okay, can't wait for you to hear the what awesome like news is coming. Oh, big news ahead, and just was always just trying to build hype. I don't know. I remember we played, so we there was always that kind of weird line, right? Like if we played the same night as someone, I felt like sort of okay to be able to say, look, we opened for them, I mean, we properly opened for like Real Big Fish and Third Eye Blind, but then I would add in like we opened up for the Goo Goo Dolls, and we did record with Robbie from the Goo Goo Dolls. And when I say record with him, he did a little bit of production, but we recorded at his studio with Mark Hunt, which I'm proud of. Like, but I would loosely say we recorded with Robbie from the Goo Goo Dolls. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe all that stuff's okay. Maybe everybody does it. But as I get older, like, I want to be real. Even this whole DIY thing, like DIY for me is because I've never had the opportunity to do it any other way. It's not like I've turned down major record deals. And it's not like, I don't know, at a certain point, I decided to take, maybe foolishly, maybe I'm delusional about my own abilities, or, I know all this sounds really pathetic, and I really don't mean it to, because I live a very, very blessed life. I've got my health, I've got a beautiful family, I've got, both my parents are alive, and I have a great relationship with them. I'm good, right? But but I also work a day job. There's it's a company based out of DC called And Pizza, and I do their marketing, right? And even that, like, I don't know why I feel the need to say all of this, but for some reason the last couple of days I have wanted to, and partly maybe it's because I haven't. It's from not either posting or not wanting to post for a while. You put all your effort into like my last single, Making Up Time. Super proud of it. I'm not disappointed in it, like not getting picked up by some Spotify or Amazon playlist. And the whole point in this for me was to just keep doing the work, and the DIY portion of it basically is saying I'm not going to sit around and wait, right? I always thought that at some point, however I network myself, whether it be in New York or LA, or the friends I have, or the ways that I, like shamelessly self-promoted myself, that at some point someone would come up and be like, okay, all right, you've been knighted, we will anoint you as the next alt rock band to get your shot, and I don't know how close I ever got. I guess there's not really any way to know that. And I just know I've got cases and cases of CDs that I had to like get rid of, and boxes and boxes of all these CDs that nobody ever cared to buy. In fact, at some point when I did start making money elsewhere, with my like, I've got a computer science background and I love marketing, and so I work with companies. And so when I made some money, I would just like, okay, well, this is my. I never wanted to call it a hobby. But like I would fund it, right? When I had a business, I would just probably wasted so much money funding my my music career, whether it be equipment or pressing CDs or buying a bunch of T-shirts just to throw them out into the crowd. Um, I mean, it works. It's probably a lot more um, gratifying to have someone want to pay for it, right? Rather than just being willing to take it for free. But man, at some point, I just didn't even give them the option. Like I didn't give them the option. Like everything was free. Like just sign up for my like it's. I thought I was being generous, but I think I was just being like I was so nervous that no one would want it or be willing to buy it that I just gave it away. Yeah, I know maybe this isn't that inspiring for like a fan, um, but I also kind of want to share this with other musicians out there. Like I never want anyone to. I want you to know like we're all doing the same stuff. I've got major label friends who are struggling to figure out how to break through as well, and they've got hits. It's like they're trying to figure out how to differentiate themselves, how to get on these shows, how to be in playlists, and they're light years ahead of anywhere I've ever further than I've ever been. And we're all just trying to find our way, but I don't want to be phony. I think I'm a lot less phony than I used to be, but I still just want to make sure I'm less phony today than I was yesterday. And so yeah, I don't know if that. Again, there's plenty of people who are on these videos like this who are doing this to like be real and be vulnerable, and I'm really not trying to do that to you right now and manipulate you emotionally to care about me or to want to support me or share my stuff or anything like that. It's just been something I've been thinking about a lot, and I don't know, I think I just needed to do a video like this to allow me to open up the floodgates and get into a better routine. I've been working on some new music. Been really, that's the thing though, is like I do have a day job, and it's pretty demanding. And I have a family, and we have projects that we work on as a family, and then we also have just life, like work and family, and we have the cabin project up in Virginia, and I also deal with just trying to, almost all these latest songs are about time, and I need to continually keep things and put things into perspective, distance and time, and sometimes you have to prioritize, and prioritize, and try not to be selfish. So there is times where you do need to be selfish, and you should be selfish, whether like what people call self-care or something, like, you have to spend that time doing what brings you joy, as well. And don't deprioritize that, because after a while you'll get resentful, or you just kind of you'll bottle it all up, and that's not good either. So balance and boundaries. Yeah. this is the ramble of all rambles. I know it's probably super boring, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was important to share. So that being said, I do have a song coming out next month. It's pretty cool. When I was a senior in high school, uh, I started to get involved, or I mean, in high school, I got involved with a lot of theater and musicals. And my senior year was, we would always have this thing called dessert theater. And so Adrene Redding, our choir leader, instructor, choir teacher, and Jamie Mullen, they would always put, like, we would do a, I think Mullen was involved, maybe not, but would do it was called a dessert theater. So the high schoolers would be able to pick songs. We'd do like a something. The choir would do something, but then you could sign up and like kind of audition to do like a song of your choosing, which was cool. So and they'd serve dessert. So this year, my senior year, it was the first time I'd ever kind of played in a band. It was Ed Zarnecki and Tobin Keeler. We did Stairway to Heaven, which was pretty cool. And then I also did a song with my dad. My dad was my school principal, and we had actually acted together. And then we did the song called "The River" by Garth Brooks. So yeah, and it was a really beautiful moment. And that song has always stuck with me, and I think it really speaks to the kind of dad that my dad is. He's always trying to get you to go for it, you know, to not be fearful, to go for it. And I've struggled with that, you know. I've struggled with that for most of my life, trying to understand, like, I don't know, being scared to go for it. What if you actually get it, but you don't deserve it? Why don't you deserve it? Like, what? Why? You know? I mean, I just crazy artistic nonsense. But to circle back around to this song 25 years later. So anyway, I'd been thinking about doing this for a while, and just finally went up to New York and visited my folks, and we recorded it. And so I'm going to put it out next month. It's just a pretty simple duet, but I'm just so glad that I took the time. You never regret that kind of stuff. And so while I am putting it out, it'll be out on Father's Day. It's really personal for me, and thinking about our voices being connected and released in perpetuity to the streaming services. Who knows? I mean, you know, maybe no one will ever really care about that, but anybody who's ever known me or met my dad can flip that on and hear us together, and that brings me a lot of joy. And I know that it continues to sound pathetic. I don't know. Yeah. Guess I'm feeling a little pathetic lately. You know, I don't know, as an artist, like, you're either like so sure that everybody has to hear your brilliance. And there have been times in my life where I've like kind of just bullheadedly kind of acted that way. As I get older, I really struggle with just feeling a little silly, like even this video, like why would anybody care to watch 20 minutes of me rambling? So, which is a fair point, and you probably shouldn't. There's probably a better use of your time. But anyway, I hope you're all well. I just put up a quick cover. I've got some more new music that I'm working on. I just told my buddy John Butine, it's like, let's get a session like in Pro Tools where it's just vocals and guitar, maybe background vocals, maybe a little piano, and like get a really good solid mix so that I can just kind of even just crank out either acoustic versions or just write some songs and put them out a lot easier without having to do a lot of work. And just keep the arrangement simple. I can always do big ones as well, but might be fun to just kind of crank some stuff out. So I hope you're well. Thanks for letting me treat you as my therapist this evening. And more positive, more. The hype train will be coming back through. Please pre-save the river. It's in all of my socials. And talk to you soon. Have a good night. Bye.